Hello, everyone.
And welcome to the Erudition Network.
Indeed.
The
So,
Erudition Generations program
Generation.
of Erudition. That's what you
indeed.
Hello, Mario Brown.
Hello.
Oh, Marie.
Have with us.
I've been thinking about Mario all day. The new game is coming out.
I know it has been a minute since we have been back on here.
Good minute.
There's been a lot going on as of the last month.
The highlight of today's show is, well, mainly the fact that we were gone and visiting people.
Yes, we went to Chicago. For many of you that are with us on the network, we know. You know.
Yeah.
You just know.
The great Chicago.
But we took a
Vacation.
I wouldn't say vacation, but an unprecedented.
Yeah, we took an unprecedented trip over to Chicago.
Yeah.
I know. So it was for sad occasions because we were, at the time, our granddad was in hospice. And then later when we were there, he passed. Mom kind of talked about that on her show, about the passing of her dad. We're here to tell you
About what happened in Chicago. And
everything,
why-
about basically everything. Where have we been?
Exactly.
That's
This is
today's topic.
and we're going to tell you all the stuff that's been happening.
Yes. Before we get to the interesting stuff that happened to us, we should start off slow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Suspense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, y'all too much already. Y'all just got back.
We weren't able to see you as well, bro.
We
I
weren't
hate-
able to
I
see that.
dig it. Yeah, we miss you as well, and Tony Briscoe. But hey, there's always next time, and we at our shows. We can hop on. We can hop on. We can hop on here. We can interact. We can interact that way. So it's not a complete loss. We felt the love when we went to Chicago.
I couldn't see the.
Hey, Grandma, that's Marie Brown. Your
Hey.
Grammy Riri.
Hey, Grammy, Riri.
Oh, very.
But yeah, our Chicago trip was definitely very chaotic. But I gotta say, it never beats being home. I always say, there ain't no place like home. And
That's
nah, bro, look. When you go on a trip, you love the trip, but you know what you realize on the trip? You can't get full comfortable, bro. You gotta, what you be sitting there is you're like, man, I'm so happy to be around people. But what happens is you spend too much time around people, then you start to feel like you at home. In your home, you get a little bit too comfortable. And then eventually somebody's looking at you weird, like you realize this isn't your home as you sitting up at 1 a.m. in somebody's kitchen in their refrigerator, like, man, where's the cheese?
Well, let's dive into.
That's not a personal
Let's
issue.
discuss about this.
What
Was
was
Chicago everything you dreamed?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's put that on a realistic note. For the most part, not really. And I don't go into why unless somebody else wants to stop me, because we'll talk about the first day. Everybody
Yeah.
No.
I think that's what we should do. We should talk about the first 24 hours spent in.
all right, baby, let me go to this.
No, I feel like
No,
you should
let him
build
do it.
suspense. I feel like you should build suspense up to that.
Bro, that's the first day. When we build
Yeah,
suspenses,
yeah.
we gonna be talking about, well, we were in the car for several hours, and then when we finally arrived, went to sleep. Unless that is somehow the suspense you're thinking, then no.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: the first day was suspenseful, Matthew, and we're about to go into why. Now, everybody, just imagine, close your eyes for a second, and see a number appear. See
Right.
red and then 1 in
Uh-huh.
red. The number in red.
What?
Now, just go along with it. Go along with it. Anyway, the first day was actually somewhat uneventful for the most part. We went over. We first saw our granddad, which was fairly it was fairly saddening to see him in that state because of the fact that we had originally uh, right before the hospital, he came to visit us, and
You're
along
breaking up.
with so we were able to get in and see granddad and our uncle. And for the most part, when he was here, he was really active. He was really hyper, and Teddy learned a bunch of songs from him. They danced around the kitchen. We even got to make some smothered potatoes and everything. Then when it was time for him to leave, we told him to go ahead and see him again, but we did not expect to see him in that state. We went ahead, talked to him for a bit, stayed a while, and then after that, we went to go visit some people. We first visited Grandma, I believe. We went over to Grandma, and then we visited her. We talked a bit about Mom and Dad. Mom had
First, what we had did before we went to Grandma's, after seeing Granddad, we went to go get some rib tips and some links.
Yeah.
While to kind of cheer ourselves up, because it was a very sad situation. And when you see your loved one like that, you don't want to leave. We kind of just staggered outside and whatnot until it was.
Yeah, we talked
until we really did have to leave.
Yeah, we started
because we wanted to meet other people that day, including Grandma. So when we went to go, just before we went to go see Grandma, we went and picked up some rib tips and some links.
Real spicy sausages.
Yeah, those sausages.
We went to for kidding when they said hot links. It had a kick to it. That's how.
That means y'all heat tolerance ain't nothing. I was able to eat that, and I was in there happy.
Because the hot links that they have here, it's not really like that.
So I was able to tolerate that. That wasn't really that spicy. It was really sweet. Right?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that hot. No one's saying that, but that's the kick that you should expect out of a hot link.
So
not it says hot, but it's kind of bland.
Yeah. So
yeah.
then
Can't really judge the food.
those things and ribs over there. Let's get into this comment.
That's a Cheyenne thing, apparently.
What? And I can't remember standing in someone's kitchen in their underwear. I don't think anybody else remembers that.
Yeah, this is not the Men in Black, everyone.
Okay, but
everyone remembers. So when we went to see Grandma, what happened then, Cheyenne?
After we went to go see Grandma, Mom, Dad, and everybody started talking to Grandma because we were trying to cheer ourselves up. Mom had some frustrations a bit, and we pretty much talked with Grandma. And then after a while, as well as seeing King and Evie's child, known as Edwin.
Edwin, yes, I love Edwin.
Yes.
Edwin is the perfect breed between King and Evie to make the perfect dog and a really smart dog. Irrelevant.
If that's what you call it.
What's gonna happen when you see Panda? What's gonna happen when you see Panda?
They are.
It has more of King's spaz than anything at Evie's big forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Facebook user.
Yeah. Good evening.
This is why we will be switching to another program, not StreamYard, because whatever reason StreamYard is having an issue.
We see some messages, and that's the problem. We got to connect with our audience.
And we're tired of it. We're tired of it, StreamYard. You're losing good business. Good business.
But also,
it's a fight
if you're
monocle, and then you be a steak oil self.
If you're watching,
this is not a good deal.
It matters.
This is an investment.
Your comment matters.
That is Mama Michelle. Oh, thank you. That's Michelle. Mama Michelle, thank you for joining us this evening.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us stream.
Yeah.
I know. Facebook is having all sorts of issues. That's why we'll be moving from StreamYard to another program. So don't be surprised if everything looks a bit different. Things start moving in the background. It's not trying to hypnotize you.
People start flying and
you start seeing stuff in the background fade in and out of reality.
Yeah.
If you haven't already,
hearing. You blink, we're in the air for some reason, skydiving. It's okay. It's just a new program.
Hmm. But that's beside the point. It's time to go back to what happened because we still are on day one. So after we visited Grandma, we had we decided to go over to visit one more person. And as we all know, I'm really not good with names, and for that I am sorry.
Blondie.
I know. As I said, I am not good with names, so I am sorry.
Yep, I'm going to keep this bit up and tell somebody,
It's
do
not-
you remember my name? Yes. Yes, I do.
Hey, at least I'm being honest. I ain't gonna sit there and be like, I remember you, and then have to bring you somewhere where someone knows you and says your name out loud so I can then act like I've known your name the whole day. I will be completely honest with you. I will be completely transparent. I will look you in the eyes and tell you, I don't remember your name. I remember your face, but I do not know who you are.
Yeah. So we need to go visit them.
This is Aaron. And
We went to go visit Aunt Blondie, and for the most part, we just talked with Mom and
Who's
Dad.
the other person who was there, Papa? Go ahead and tell Teddy. Go ahead.
her. It was her.
Let me tell
Look,
you.
my memory ain't good, all right? I don't have half Teddy's age, and Teddy's ancient.
Hold on.
He's losing his mind.
Let me tell the rest of this part.
No, because I highly doubt you
No, I'll
remember.
have Matthew tell his part, because Matthew's part of this day was the most important. After we sat down for a while, Matthew, you can go ahead and say what happened.
Yes, that Blondie's house.
So my phone died after playing a few games, and it was at least 10 or 20 minutes after that when I heard the first gunshots of my life. And let me tell you,
You've heard gunshots before.
I was, so let's say
Yeah,
I
not
was in
like
the
that,
kitchen. It was right here. So I started running into a different room with no windows, no nothing. I turn off the light in there and get on the ground, and one of my, mom and dad had to tell me to open the door. And I started praying to God. I remember I was on the floor going like this.
Yeah,
Papa,
very scary situation.
I mean, yeah, because of the fact that for the most part, the way I would depict it was, yeah, at first we heard the gunshots, but the thing about it was rather late at night. So in other words, half of us were asleep because it was a very long day and it had been a very long drive. So me, Elliot, and I was trying to sleep. I don't know about them. The rest of them were probably awake, I think, at the very least. But that's beyond the point. The fact is, I was asleep in front of the window in the front, and I was going to sleep. I was slowly dozing off. And then out of nowhere, the gunshots had rung out. And it was incredibly bizarre because what happened was I didn't hear the gunshots for a second because, like I said, I was somewhat dozing off. What I saw was Matthew running full speed out of the kitchen to dive into the room.
Oh yes,
I didn't
Screaming, everybody get down.
from those links and tips, but it didn't stop him from jetting out that room like that.
Yeah.
I did not know it was a dive.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next thing I hear is Mom say, "All right, everybody get down." And for the most part, we all get down, right?
Yeah.
So, I remember I was sitting in a kiddie chair in the middle of the room, just sitting there, where I'm like, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was just like scared.
Yeah, that is exactly how it looked too. Like he had pressed circle.
When it's promo instantly.
So,
and prayer mode.
we start to hear gunshots. Everybody freaking out. Matthew takes a swan dive into a tiny room in the other place from the kitchen to the thing. I get on the ground and I'm telling everybody to get on the ground and turn off the lights and stuff. Everybody's not taking it seriously. They move it in slow motion like it's some type of horror film. And I'm the only one who's supposed to live, except for Matthew. Matthew took that
Yeah,
squad dive for his life.
Elliot completely freaked out. He was shushing everyone.
No.
He was sitting there.
No, I didn't freak out. I had a normal response to a situation that should have happened. So we had our dogs in the room too.
Oh yeah,
So we were. King decided he was gonna lose his goddamn mind, as he should, respectfully. But he was being way too loud, so I had to shut the dog up. So I put his hand back in the thing gently. Gently.
Yeah.
Gently. And then King shut up and never barked ever again.
Because and it was mostly because of the fact, for the most part, you probably would imagine that everybody's on the floor, right? But Blonde is sitting there.
No, I'm Blondie. She tried to get down, but
Yeah,
she's an elderly person. And I tell you, you go ahead. Explain what happened. Explain what happened.
Elliot was freaking out, saying how everyone needs to shut off the lights. He was screaming from the floor, mind you, and telling Blondie, again, everybody get on the floor, and they're just sitting there like, we're hearing this go off, and then we start hearing yelling, and he's like, when the yelling started before he whoever drove off, and you could hear the engine really fast. Before any of that had happened, all Elliot heard was the yelling. It was like, shh, we don't want him to come in the house. That's where his mind was. It didn't help when Mom's phone went off.
That's not where my mind was. My mind was on shut off everything, shut off the noise, stop making noise. And Dad was on the floor, and he started giggling. I thought he was losing his mind. I was like, this ain't funny. Somebody probably just died. It was a very stressful situation.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Thankfully, no one died.
Yeah, nobody died.
Somebody was struck in the leg, but they lived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was also mad because everybody seemed pretty chill. This, unfortunately, is not the first time that me and Papa had to go through something like that. We were here.
All of us have.
We were in Chicago on the first time.
I don't know why y'all was so nonchalant about it.
I'm already telling you.
We're just sitting there like, well, this is happening.
Me and Papa have
best not to panic because we got asthma.
I wasn't panicking. I was thinking logically and spiritually, of course.
Nah, some tell me that you be like shh, shh, and going like, everybody shut up, and it's just like
I wasn't yelling. I was whispering.
To you, it wasn't yelling, Ellie. But I was halfway at the door.
Adrenaline at the time. I didn't even feel it.
Telling people to get on the floor so they don't die.
And you know what happened? If somebody was at the door, they'd be like, who is yelling? The heck, they don't even got to be at the door. They're in the yard. They're like, who is yelling? And they they're whispering because their voice is raggedy.
Hold on, let me tell y'all.
Yeah, that was very close. It was logical to be afraid and hesitant, Elliot, but yeah, you.
Let me tell a little bit of more of my part because I wasn't able.
You were just calm as you thought you were.
I wasn't able to finish my part. So let me tell you, it was the gunshots were right near the kitchen, and supposedly there was a girl younger than me who got shot in the leg in the kitchen as well, I think. But let me tell you, when I was on the ground, I didn't nearly close the door, or I did not care. I didn't care about anybody else, and my adrenaline was running high.
Yes.
You want to admit that in front of all of us, Matthew?
My main concern was y'all. We have two totally different mindsets.
Exactly, Matthew. You just outed yourself as if crap go down, you gonna be the person who's like, oh, you got hit. Bye.
I did think of telling y'all to get in the room.
No, you just said I didn't think of y'all at all.
It was a mix. It was a mix. It was a mix of should I let them in the room? But that was
nah, bro. You
let them in the door. What?
You hit me with the revelations that you just the type of person. That's like, I'm gonna feed you to the zombie, so I can get out. You need to pray. We need to drop
the computer opens one door and sees everybody. That's an easy 8 kills.
Wow. Nah, bro.
So,
Nah, I gotta think about if I'm really related to you now, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matthew was the
I mean,
closest
he was
to it because
closest, so
he
I
was
could
in
kind
the
of
kitchen.
understand. But still,
He was,
yeah,
honestly,
I
I
guess.
know
I
I'm an
guess.
and
invincible Earth person
the
who
shots
came
were
from
heard
the station
from the
of the
other
Earth.
house.
I knew I would survive, so I was worried about y'all instead.
Sure, that's what you were
They were
doing.
the shots rung out in the other home next to us.
Yes.
So it was, and Matthew was right there near the kitchen, and that's where they had the gunshots that went off. And you could hear something hit the house. I'm pretty sure that a bullet did end up in the house. Thankfully, it didn't look like anything went through the walls, and nobody else was hit. But rightfully so, Matthew was right there in the kitchen, hearing these shots ring out loud. And Matthew, he hasn't visited Chicago like that in the 4th of July. Because remember, when me and you, Papa, went in the 4th of July, we were told, hey, get on the ground because you don't know if that is fireworks, and they don't sound like fireworks. They sound a little bit too loud.
You know when they fireworks or not? There's a difference between pew and bow, bow, bow.
Yeah,
Those
they,
are two different
they
noises.
Sometimes you don't hear the pop. Think about it. We got poppers,
Unless they fire it goddamn bazookas, then you gonna hear it.
but
You can
no.
tell.
But we're forgetting. Yeah, nah. Matthew was not. Matthew ain't sorry about self-preservation. So, tells me if that would ever happen again, Matthew would then be like, he would apologize
Nope, I ain't
after
gonna
he's
say it's
gone.
just survival. I just wanted to see how long you could live as he kicked you down, like that one Boondock scene where as he was running up the stairs, he kicked him on down.
Exactly. Matthew like granddad from Boondocks, just like, oh,
Yeah.
you got it. You hold the door. You got it and run.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. Late, but I'm here. Our Bible study is on Wednesday night. Oh, no problem. Thank you
No
for
problem.
joining us. Feel free to answer or ask questions. We got all we're doing right now is going over our experience in Chicago and
Mhm.
letting
that's
you all
only day
know,
one.
what happened. Why we have been absent. Like,
Yeah,
for,
because we don't we have a story to tell. And the thing that people are, and the thing that we're kind of skipping over here is, yeah, we were all glad that nobody was hurt, and that even the person who was hurt did not
yeah,
have
they
any fluids.
did.
Well, that kind of leads
These
in.
shots that rung out that you did think that, okay, not all of those could have missed. Somebody is probably
Yeah, but that kind of leads into the second day.
No,
Because
because
no.
first day completely.
Well,
Remember, while we're laying on the floor, that's the part we skipped over. While we're laying on the floor, Kurt and Blondie, like Teddy said, tried to get on the floor at first, but then but as Elliot said, she is an elderly woman. But Kurt was just leaning against the wall, completely stood up, completely standing, leaning against the wall, and the entire time Elliot's shushing and stuff, he's telling everybody to get on the ground, right? And Kurt is sitting there just looking, and he's like,
With a slight smirk on his face too.
yeah, and straight up says, oh, the shots haven't even stopped yet because there was a slight pause in them. It was like, well, when the cops come, just know
no,
that.
even long before that.
It's like, wait a
The
minute.
whole time he was standing there, even before he said, when the cops come, then y'all can get up and leave. It was more he was standing there, Blondie as well as sitting there, and they were saying this has never happened in our community before. This usually does not happen.
Yeah, and then she said that it had happened earlier, like that, and it was like, but they had just said it didn't happen like that for at least 30 years that they've been there. So we're just sitting there like, this is not a conversation we should be having.
Exactly. We're all sitting there trying to keep calm and everything. And this was after we went to go see Granddad, so we were already somewhat stressed. So it was like, all right, this is happening now.
Yeah.
And then
Mom's phone starts going off.
yeah, Bob's phone rings in the middle of all of this while we're still on the floor, and Mom answers, and she thinks that She thinks that her guardian angel called because she
No,
she
she thought that
answers the
Grammy
phone.
Riri had called and had told.
Exactly. She answers the phone, and the person on the phone says, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm on the floor."
No, she didn't even say it in a panicked way. She said,
Yeah, she
I'm
said
on
it
the floor.
completely calm, like scary calm, going like, "I'm on the floor."
Like,
And then the person on the phone said, "What are you on the floor for?"
praying.
Exactly. She responds, and then after like one more question, she says, "Can I call you back later?" I'm trying to keep quiet, and then she hangs up. And then the police finally arrive. We start getting to the car. The car was completely unscathed. Everything was fine. We drove, and the entire time.
Oh, wait, no, hold on, y'all. You skipped an important part. The police came. We opened the door. My hands went up, and then they go back down. Yeah, y'all got me.
Yeah,
all
Elliot
confused.
walked out with his hands up, and as we were pretty much walking to the car, we were speed walking to the
Yeah.
car, trying to get there.
I wasn't
Because
calm.
it's probably not the best idea to start running after that.
I was. Oh wait, hey, we did run.
Yes.
But I was
Unfortunate.
panicking. I was panicking. But I was praying. I was keeping my cool and just going.
Yeah. That was the first, and then after we had left and went to the car, I
we
realized
ran to the car.
we went, got some White Castle because it was like, okay, it's dinner time. We need to eat. The day has been very eventful. We just saw Granddad in a very vulnerable state. We talked to Grandma and basically told her how we felt about things like that. Because she had just lost a parent around 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we had actually talked to her about that, she was understanding. Then we go to Aunt Blondie's house and we get shot at. Then we're sitting there, okay, we haven't ate all day. We had to take several NAB treatments even before all that happened because it's a new environment and all four of us are asthmatics. The problem is, somewhere between that, I couldn't breathe.
And I couldn't breathe because I got sick, either from trauma or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So somewhere between
to the hospital because the fact that turns out getting shot at kind of did cause some asthmatic reaction. So he needed to
mental stress.
So
he
he
didn't
needed
get hurt
to
physically.
Yeah. So he needed to go to the hospital to get an asthma treatment. Then
just when we were saying that, thankfully no one ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I said. It kind of leads into day two because we didn't get hurt physically, but we basically did get hurt mentally.
Yeah. By the time the Teddy finally got back home, back to our uncle's place, it was day two, and we had to start, and then we had to begin.
Yeah, that's the our version of that. But let me tell you what happened when we arrived and realized, okay, I can't breathe. So we drive there to the ER. We figure out, okay, you had an asthma attack. They give me my breathing treatment. Then we have to pick up prednisone the day after because we couldn't pick it up then.
What are you staring at?
So they gave me everything that they could there. They sent me home. I'm glad to see you all.
Some static says appeared saying that your luck's run out.
I'm glad to see you all. Everything seems fine when we get back. Now I'm just on medication and doing other things. It was
it wasn't that quick.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't that quick.
It was hours. They sat there and gave me breathing treatments for hours.
Yeah, explain, Teddy. Explain your story.
Actually, we were there. We went there at like 9, and we didn't leave till 3 in the morning. It was daytime by the time we had saw you all, and I was just tired. So that's why when we had came back, and I didn't get to enjoy my White Castle. That's what made me mad.
Yeah. I was debated if I should eat it or not because I was like, man, food going to waste. I should never let this happen. But that leads us
You were like,
into
you were going to eat my sliders.
bro. What you thought was if you thought that we were all at the house going like, oh my god, Teddy, what really happened was Matthew and Elliot went upstairs, tried to find out what happened on TV. They saw the news report. Then they were like, okay, SpongeBob.
No,
Oh yeah,
the
y'all saw the news report.
Mom trying to figure out what was going on with Teddy.
And then those two collapsed like rocks onto the bed and just fell asleep. And then I was the only one up, and I was like, yeah, I should probably stay up, see if Mom calls. So what I was doing was going like, is there any good stuff on channels? So I was watching Friends, Frasier, Family Guy, and whatever.
You were
And then
watching.
Mom calls, and she's like, is everything okay there? And I'm like, Elliot and Matthew is continue.
Actually, it wasn't too bad like that. It was good. It was a overall good visit.
Yeah, it was overall good.
That was a good visit.
It wasn't how I was ready to go back home. It's always sad to depart from family because we don't get to see all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
but I miss my
that was
dad.
one of the things that we had discussed as well that was really making me upset. But everyone in the doctor's office said you have to calm down because when it's a matter of breathing, everyone knows you can't breathe if you're not calm.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking, this is the first day
Yeah,
already.
4 a.m.
To get back till 4 a.m.
So what?
We didn't. The whole time I'm sitting here like, man, this is the first day, and I've already been hospitalized. We don't really get to see family like that. And now, how are my parents gonna feel? Because now they're gonna be ready to go home because of all this happened. And now it just kept on going. So I had to calm down. And that's probably why we were there for over 7 hours. The hospital didn't help for the 2 hours. Because they had me.
When they got home.
No, they had me in the waiting room. I wasn't keeping time.
Waiting room in the ER, really?
I was not keeping watch of the time, but apparently, it was like 2 hours that we were in the waiting room, and they're still talking about doing whatever they're doing. And I am sitting here just trying to breathe.
Okay.
Yeah.
We in the hospital in Indiana, and they are ignoring my son that can't catch his breath, struggling to catch his breath, and it keeps flaring up. Because you all know, because you have asthma. When you have an asthma attack, 1 minute you really can't breathe, and then the next it tries to calm back down, but then it builds back up, and then you can't breathe even more that time. And then the more that happens, you can be incubated. Thankfully, none of that happened. And yes, Mom and Dad told them several times that I need help to get treatment. But they're doing that, and all I'm doing is sitting down in the chair like, I need to breathe. I need to calm down. And then I also didn't process, when you're sitting there with time on your hands, you also didn't process that I just lost Granddad. And I had the same vision of Yao, because Yao would be asleep when he was.
Remember, we didn't lose Granddad on the first day.
I know, but still, when you're in hospice, we kind of knew that I kind of knew that was going to happen, especially just the state that he was in, and having taken the class of psychology, death, and dying, knowing what was coming. But just processing all of that and trying not to focus on it because you need to breathe. Then you realize Granddad is dying. So now I'm in tears because I've just realized everything that's just happened. And Mom and Dad are freaking out because they're like, is he crying because he can't breathe? No, he's crying because a whole lot of bad things just happened. He was shot at. His granddad is dying. And the last thing that he has in his memory is Granddad dancing around the kitchen with Smokey Robinson, waking him up to make coffee, and then chatting about his past experience with the railroad and realizing that's not going to happen anymore because he is gone. He's going.
In other
So
words, in the hospital, stress it out when mom and dad were keenly telling you calm down as well as doctors. You over there literally doing quite the opposite, going like,
You cried in the hospital.
everything is going, I should have been there. I would have hit you in the back of the head. Because none of your parents nor grandparents want you to be stressing out over stuff that you, especially after in the first 24 hours of being back.
Yeah, I don't know why
You
y'all
had a
didn't-
whole
I don't know why y'all didn't bring us anyway, because
Yeah, what's going on, people?
But look at the bright side,
we
Teddy.
need to actually hear you in the mic. We keep hearing that.
But look at the bright
looks
side,
like you
Teddy.
have a beard. Yes.
I got a full-on beard. It's too bad Teddy was never able to grow one. Maybe someday in the afterlife he'll have a long, wise beard.
Since every day is Christmas, you can dye it white, then turn into Santa Claus.
Yeah, baby.
Tina and I are not too nice for you, but yes, it
Y'all
was.
was too nice. Y'all didn't bring us. Y'all was very generous. Y'all should have brought us. I would have had some. I would have had some
We
words.
had to rush out of the house because I could not breathe at all, and that could have ended very badly.
I would have
See,
went in
Teddy,
pajamas.
see, Teddy. Well, I tell you, everybody agree with me.
Yeah, I know you like your beard, and
No, we talking about the fact you in the hospital panicking.
oh,
But
I would have hit you.
but Teddy, look
No
at the
way.
bright side.
I was trying to calm down, but
Teddy,
All
look,
of you were not trying hard enough.
Yeah, Teddy, we should
Because-
appear. We should appear in your head like the Lion King in cloud.
Because let's keep in mind,
Oh,
you
yeah.
by the time we finally got to the end of the trip, where were you? That's right, you were in the hospital again. You weren't in the hospital once, you were in the hospital twice.
let's look at the bright side.
okay.
At least Teddy got
yes.
well fed.
That was the first day, and then after we had interacted and did what we were doing, but I ran out of the medication that they had prescribed me, which was the prednisone, and I guess they stopped it too abruptly. They didn't wing me off; they just went, "Okay, no more." So
Yes.
later
So let's
on,
go ahead and talk
Later
about the
on,
main,
we did in the hospital. So
which kind of brings us to the reason we were there, because we were there for two reasons. One being we wanted to see Granddad. Mom needed to see her father before anything happened, and then the second one was because Mom was supposed to be our mother was supposed to be
addressing
on
the comment that Mom just had, yes, it was a horrible situation within the hospital itself of what was going on. Even the first day, and then when I eventually had to go back again because they were misinformed me of whatever was going on when they did the second X-ray of my chest. No one told me, "Oh, you have an infection.
Oh yeah.
This is the problem." And
They just let him leave.
they just let me leave like everything was okay. So then
and then they take you back.
so
Yep.
we didn't end up in the hospital twice. We went 3 different times because
And there she is,
people
three
didn't.
different times, and she was ready to leave.
Yeah, then we were ready to leave because it's like, well, I can't get help, and we know in Denver we can breathe.
Yeah, but what we'll say
A
is,
lot of people in our family, included, even when they visited, don't really understand that. Yeah, that asthma thing is real.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
adapted to this climate. But anyway, let me explain in my side of the story
Yeah.
on this.
And then because of all the misinformation from the ER, because even before I got admitted, because I didn't want to get it admitted if it could have been avoided, but then the doctor comes in and says something else that's like, no, he should have been admitted before. We don't know why he wasn't.
So basically, they put him in the
So
hospital.
instead of saying that, it threw us all off.
Mhm.
So
And that-
we leave thinking everything's okay just to come back. Now the doctor's saying, no, your son has a lung infection and he needs to be admitted into the hospital now.
Mhm.
So I'm getting admitted into the hospital and they say, Oh no. We go up to the second floor. They say, oh no, none of that's happening up here. So the ER doesn't know what the actual hospital is doing. We get in there, the room is full of somebody bled all over the IV. It's been it was crazy,
Yeah.
and that's when we realized, okay, it was
And
time.
you still try to stress out.
Thankfully, it didn't happen back to. No, I wasn't stressed out at that point.
Were
If
you?
anything, I was just ready to
But let's talk about the in
to go.
between of that.
Because
it was different.
by then we had already been there the 5 days that we were going to be there. The extra 2 was nice, but then we had to get.
Yeah. And you, Elliot, and Matthew got sick.
Oh yeah, we got.
And then, of course, I, the superior being.
You know why I got sick? My mother, the one I'm supposed to trust, decided we there was 2 beds. Papa and Matthew slept on one, and me and Tay slept on the other. Tay,
Yes, we
he was
did.
already sick, and I was doing fine. I was in great condition. Then my mother decides that I should take the big blanket that he was coughing and wheezing on, and I wake up the next morning, eyes cloudy, a new objective appeared over my head, survive. And I was like, what? What's going on?
But you forget, Elliot, you don't have that excuse because I had to share the same bed with Matthew, and he was sick for 3 days, and I didn't get sick at all, and I'm still not sick. I willpowered through the entire trip, and I got no.
Yeah,
I didn't get sick. I didn't get
it was
stressed
believed
out.
to be the difference in air quality because even the doctor had said, and it was late at night, and I couldn't really understand because Dad was ready to throw hands with that doctor, and that definitely would have stressed me out because I'm just sitting there like, it's fine, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Hey, I didn't say it was God. I said God made
But then
me
again,
strong.
I was
My
tired.
immune system is fabulous.
Then again, I was tired and high on medication, so maybe that's
Hold on. Let's clear something up. When we went to visit you, you literally told us the medicine made you feel like you were invincible.
And thank God that window was closed, because God knows what you would have done.
But
I said
let me
invincible. I didn't say I
explain.
could fly.
Let me explain what happened with the in between while Teddy was there. So the in
I don't know what
between
that
was very odd because I got sick at the time. And then I wake up twice in one night. I wake up not being able to breathe that much. I just cough off and it goes away. Hey, and let me tell you, I have to include this part of
Yes.
it because it was odd. Basically, I don't know the full extent because it was a while ago. But at the end of the dream, I just remember there's somebody saying they wanted to fight me, and I said, me? In a sarcastic way. And then I wake up not being able to breathe.
Yep,
And
you
Yeah, you woke up with the same.
No, I'll give you what happened after. Because on my side, you know what was happening? I'm sitting in the bed, right? I'm asleep. I'm enjoying sleeping because it's been a long day. Matthew is quite literally kicking me all the way to the wall. He is quite literally pushing my entire body over to the wall and taking up the entire bed. This is the entire bed. Matthew is over here at first. I'm over here. Matthew after an hour takes up this entire half of the bed. And then this is all I have to work with.
Yeah,
and I'm literally just laying there like.
And what you should have done is No, you should have done what you did to me. And I had no room, but you went just like this, rolled over, and guess what that does? That frees up all that room because nobody's trying to get crushed.
That's what I tried to do. And you know what that boy did?
He rolled over instead.
Exactly. He did a counter roll. He was just like, I'm like, well, he ain't backing down. Now I'm stuck here. Even worse.
Yep. That's why you never risk it.
And then it's an air mattress. So remember, whatever side has less weight on it is the side that goes up. So my wall went down. So I'm now pressed flat against the wall as Matthew is somehow in the air. And I'm like, man.
That night, I would have told them, you two sleep in the same bed, and then I'll take this one. Because there was no way that was going to happen again.
You do the same thing. You forget.
Yeah,
you shared the bed for a while. And what happened was the same thing, but worse. And I'm not trying to go back to that.
Hold on. Let me explain more of the asthma thing. I had an objective to survive. I said I saw Elliot's objective too. He had a 2-day warranty on his. Mine was 4 days. It's nothing too much. But
you had a nightmare. That's what you had.
But I had to wake Teddy up and told him I can't breathe.
Yes, I've heard that. Matthew was one of the first people who had gotten sick, and then when he had a cough at the time, and then I had a full-blown asthma attack.
And then I had it.
The doctor had already said the reason that you have a lung infection was because of the air quality. Because everyone knows the city air, it ain't good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Out here, it's not really anything.
But I told Teddy I couldn't breathe.
It's a lot of drive-by.
And what he should have done is tell.
No, we're not venting. We're just saying what happened.
Actually, yes, this is the vent episode. When I was 7, a little boy, I saw a dog.
Teddy should have to go tell Mom.
The dog looked at me and he said, "I can speak. Nobody will ever believe you. I can speak. Ruth, I'm a dog." And I was like, "What is wrong with you?"
That had nothing to do with anything, and I'm pretty sure
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, the
if
dog.
you talk to you like that, you got bigger issues.
But Teddy should have went to go tell Mom I couldn't breathe because that's the responsible person, the original person with asthma. But instead, he gives me the neb. I take that, and it makes it worse because if you didn't know, the neb is a steroid.
Well, no, it was a different type of medicine. Yeah.
It works fast. Time to work.
Okay.
But you had already had mucus, but what you needed was an expectorant. When you started taking the Robitussin,
that Robitussin and cured me. Robitussin for the win. It cured my COVID and it cured my sickness.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, we were all doing Robitussin that time.
Yeah, nothing is stronger than Tussin. If you ever get sick, take a Robitussin. That's all you need because the taste is
horrible. My Robitussin. But
it's for the fact that medicine's so strong that it hits, and it's like
the honey one especially. The honey hits so hard that the taste is horrible. It kills your taste buds and everything all along
but it's
the
like
way.
a person.
Your white blood cells dead.
No,
everything's dead.
I am grateful that we have people in the family
what people say
that understand.
The more bitter, the better it is.
But
what are y'all talking about over there?
They're talking about Robitussin.
I'm trying to acknowledge the comments, and then I looked up and was like, they're still talking.
But look, that's the way it works.
It keeps breaking up. But no, our grandmother says you'd be surprised how many do understand, and many are still dealing with this to this day. You're not alone.
Yes, we are not alone.
It's nice to know that you aren't alone, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people had to see that because that's the first time it's ever been that bad. The first time it was ever that bad, I was 10 years old, going on 11 because it was nearing the winter, and my birthday falls in August. So we go to the hospital at 10 years old. None of our family was around. It happened here in Denver. So unfortunately, our family got to see that side of asthma that we don't really like to talk about, and we don't ever want to get to that point. But just know you're always at the cusp of going to the hospital like that. Thankfully, we were 7 minutes away here, but out here where we live, where you're 20 minutes just to get to the store, and even longer to get to a hospital, yeah, you can't play with things like that.
Yes, but
And with mom having asthma, all 4 of us having asthma,
Yeah, we know.
How come I feel like that wink is from me?
your grandma has asthma.
I'm able to remember some things sometimes on very rainy days and very bright eves.
let me
When the
explain
moon is just right in the sky.
If
more
you
about.
don't know who Grandma Reed is, and I just explained
Yeah, and we just
to
explained
you
it.
what that was, that's
But-
not a mental problem. That is a
Oh
willing.
my God.
Hey, shut up, man.
Guys,
Let me
Yeah.
explain more on the
No,
half
it
of
really
median
isn't.
sickness.
asthma is
It
nothing.
isn't anything to play with. If asthma is very serious, if you feel yourself getting thin of breath, let's go to the hospital immediately.
I mean, it's mostly scary because it's different for everyone. Some
Yeah.
people will find it harder to exhale. Some will find it harder to breathe in, and then some will just
We'll feel
find
like
it hard
the
to breathe
chest
at
is
all.
caved in.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that is true. It takes different forms of you. Some people you can't exhale properly. Sometimes you can't breathe in, and because you're asthmatic, you never really know what normal is when breathing.
Sometimes you have what Teddy had, the old man cough that sounds like your whole soul
Oh, yeah.
is
And coupled with bronchitis, which is what the doctors had said, you have a touch of bronchitis with asthma, it will quite literally choke you out if you're not careful. So
Well,
it was good that they admitted me into the hospital.
let me
Yes,
tell
yeah.
you more.
It was
we
very much a
No,
blessing.
hold on, because we about to skip over the most important part, and that is the most drastic part. Because what we've learned is, now look, we went to the church, right? Because that was part of the reason we went there.
Yeah.
We went to we went to the church, and as a result, while we were there, we learned the most interesting thing about mom. At first, she can say that she's told us this story, but I do not remember her telling us because.
Can't even remember
No, hold on. So at the church, we were being told what mom had done in the past, and the pastor, right, described that there was that mom had that some woman had done an amazing thing by giving a bunch of money to the church in order to make the church happen, right? And it's like, wow. And mind you, I know we're there to get for mom to be honored and then put into the history of the church, right? So I'm like, wait, she did this? She gave this pastor all this money?
Yeah.
In order to help them, and it's like,
the
and
company
I'm
she
sitting there like, this is
the company
astounding.
she was giving money. She told us this story.
I do not remember this.
No. What it sounds like is mom decided this praying thing is a bit too hard. Let me just
That's what
pay
you should
my way in.
With Bible
Take care.
study.
Here.
Oh yes, Bible study. Yeah.
This is recorded, and we're only going to be on for the next
few
what?
more minutes.
4 minutes. Huh?
Yeah.
Couple more minutes, and then we gonna be gone.
Yeah.
What's gonna be
So
happening?
let's wrap this up.
Well, it's like 54 minutes. You trying to wrap it up early.
Let me wrap this up pretty fast.
Yeah, like 7 more minutes.
About my time. I'm with I want to say asthma attack. So basically, my heart was racing after taking the neb, and then mom had to walk in, and my heart calmed down. And I had to sit on a beanbag chair or have my head laying like this.
I was going to steal the beanbag chair.
Yeah, I had to fall asleep.
If Uncle Tony is watching this, you almost lost the beanbag chair.
Hey, that wasn't really an asthma attack, or that you took too much of that neb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's gonna tear that beanbag chair up.
Nah, I was going to take that thing.
Yeah, he was gonna put it in his bag.
I don't know how that would have worked, but we'd have found a way to make it work.
He probably was going to tape it to the car ceiling. I don't know what he was.
The important part was the plan that I gave him, which
Yeah,
we did it.
Really important. But Bob, see, what
Exactly.
Does the Bible say about money? She tried to buy her way in. That's what I'm telling you.
I don't
It's not a
remember saying
conspiracy.
that.
I don't
She tried
remember
to buy her way
saying
in.
that.
But no, the more interesting fact was Mom had this lore just behind her. A story that apparently just flew by in the middle of her talking sometime about her past, and this just flies over, and then out of nowhere, a couple years later, she's like, "We got to go honor this person, and we also got to see what Granddad. And we got to see Granddad. Then she needs to be honored." And I'm sitting here like, "Wow, she did this."
Yeah.
Well, first we went to the musical. We went to the musical
Yeah,
first.
we went to the musical.
Yeah. I still got a thing
And-
on my. We beat the crap out of those tambourines.
Exactly.
We beat them so hard. I still got a mark.
Honestly,
if y'all can see it,
I was just laughing
right
at y'all.
there.
I hate to say it, but y'all were sitting there hitting those tambourines. I had hit the tambourine during the musical, and I realized that, man, this hurts after a bit.
Exactly. I was praising the
And
Lord
then
so
the
hard my
next-
hands was bleeding.
And then during the day of the
That's
actual the grand finale, y'all were sitting there hitting those tambourines. I'm there clapping because I'm like, I ain't gonna hurt myself like that again
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
We was beating them so hard that we got recognized.
No, we can't have that. Hey, but you stay in our rhythm.
Yeah.
But I know that you was
I
hurting.
don't. We didn't stay on our rhythm for much longer because my hands started. I missed one. My hand went thick. Oh, it was
Man, I was like, here,
I don't know what
tambourine. I only took that tambourine for a second, started hitting it, and it's like, ooh, this kind of hurts still. And I gave it back to him, and he was like, oh, and he was looking at me like, no, please. And I just gave him the tambourine, and he had, you know, when you're handed the tambourine in church during a song, you must play it. There is no choice. If you don't play it, then are you praising?
Yeah,
So
thank
I'm
you.
going
Thank
like,
you for joining us. Hey, in the words of Uncle Reese.
Yeah, you had a tambourine guy. What's that lying now?
Exactly. Matthew had a tambourine, Jay had a tambourine, and Mom had a
What's
tambourine.
that? What?
Yes.
Yeah,
Dad,
I know we weren't supposed to hit the wood. My hand slipped.
with Elliot, but why were you hitting the plastic?
It was my hand
You're
slipped.
supposed to hit the plastic.
Yeah, you're supposed to hit the plastic.
You're supposed to hit the drum on the tambourine.
The drum, not the plastic rim.
No, Teddy. My hand slipped. It was the devil. I'm telling you. I was praising a bit too hard, and he started to notice I was ascending. I went to the 5th gate, to the 6th gate, to the 7th gate, and he's like, "Oh, he going too fast." Oh.
Nah, that was terrible.
But let me tell you, my fingertips.
That was
All the
good for
blood
everyone that was there.
All the blood was in my fingertips.
Yeah. But we was praying. We was beating the
Yeah, but you could say one thing: you did not miss out on praying.
Yes,
praise the
right.
Lord.
Our
Yeah.
cousin Joe did record that.
Yeah.
So it's out there and it's forever there that we were either on beat together or y'all were doing something. But either way, it's immortal now.
Oh, trust me, if you ever find that video of us hitting the tambourine the first day, you'll realize, yeah, no wonder one of the brothers is not holding a tambourine the next day.
No, it was far too hot that second day because there was a lot of people.
Oh yeah, it was hot too.
We were not doing that day.
Yeah, second day we was sitting in the back this time, and we was dying. We was thirsty.
Yeah,
you gotta go for it.
We were split up.
No, hold on. Before we close, Bob, since it was her day to get honored, that she walks off for a bit, and she comes back with water. I'm like, water? Where you get water from?
Hold on. If you really want to talk about something like that, let's talk about the Let's talk about the end of the ceremony. We all go up. People want pictures. People want to talk. And Mom gone. The person who we are honoring has disappeared. She has walked completely to the entrance of the church.
That was after.
That was the end of the ceremony. That's when everybody gets up and starts chatting.
Yeah,
she's gone to the end of the thing. Teddy.
She was telling people about.
Yeah, but we wanted to be taking pictures and stuff, right?
They're asking me, "Where's your mother? Where's this?" And I'm like, I don't know. They run you off, then you come back in. It's like people are asking for pictures.
I was
Yeah.
gonna no, I had a plan. I had a plan in mind. Do as many awkward handshakes as I possibly could.
Awkward handshake. Hold on. Let me describe to you the viewer exactly what Elliot was doing.
Mom was outside.
Elliot got up.
And
Me and Elliot walk over to the front of the church, right? Matthew, Teddy, and them are there. Elliot is walking up to everybody like a salesman and literally going like, "Hello, you should come to Colorado. Have you checked out Erudition?" And I'm sitting there like, and then every second I turn around, Elliot is literally hand around somebody or shaking their hand or just sitting on a bench with the person, literally leaning like a salesman. And it's like,
hey,
I
have you
turned
heard?
around for a second? You were just
Yeah, have you heard about
person.
the Gaylord? Were you getting paid by the Gaylord to sponsor them?
Hey,
Well,
the next time I'm gonna go, they're gonna be like, Elliot sent me. They're gonna be like, who's Elliot? Elliot Phillips. And then the next time we go, it's gonna be free, all expenses paid. So
I hope so, because with all the people you told about the Gaylord, they should have enough room. If they don't have all the
just do it.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
for a
What
bit.
still is that it was a side door outside.
Yeah.
All you had to do was walk up there, and then you did that. You went all the way around to the front. It's crowded now, and now we can't really get over there. It's like, come on, man.
No, I was talking to people outside. He was telling them about Erudition outside.
See what I tell you. Mom completely vanished. She went outside. She was like, everybody wants to talk.
No.
Talk outside.
I noticed because I went outside, Bob, and I was like, what are you doing out here? And then I went back inside, and jokes aside, I was telling people about the Gaylord.
Yeah, he asked
But
for you.
also, I was going around shaking people's hands, telling them thank you for hearing my mom's testimony. You want to check out more? Come to Erudition. We'll let you on, baby.
Elliot, you were just telling everything that day.
And then Elliot was going around. You can't forget the one thing he definitely kept saying. He kept saying, Elliot with two T's. Elliot with two T's.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, first the Gaylord, then fake yous, and then Elliot with two T's. You wanted them to know exactly who sent you. So, when they go to the Gaylord, they go like, Elliot sent me. They just say, Elliot with two T's, Phillips.
Elliot with two T's. It was like, and every time I kept reminding me, even Alex had said it sounded like that dude from the Boondocks, a pimp named Slipback. No, it's not Slipback. It's a pimp named Slipback. And it's like, okay, we get it.
Got to get your brand.
And even when he gave that analogy, it was classic because that's exactly what you were doing. Oh shoot, we are 3 minutes over time.
Oh,
yeah.
But it was kind of like Iris is because then I started it also pitching in the Gaylord, and I have successfully got 3 people to admit they're going to Colorado to the Gaylord. So
you got how many, man?
3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Got 10 people.
Yeah, but we
I got $1.
We could talk about our trip for forever, and we could talk about all of our interactions, but we're gonna save that for another time.
Save that for
Because there's plenty more to talk about. But just know, just as we said here, we appreciate the church family we have in Chicago because they showed us a whole lot of love when we were there the whole time. From Pastor Razor, who we had just met, and then Jackie Hines came in to see us as well, which is Riley Hines' husband. That's his wife. We were able to see a whole lot of people, and it was very grateful that we were able to see you all. Even though we missed Mike, and we did see Phil himself, or Tony Briscoe, but we know that
I accidentally
we definitely know that we are loved even here on the program, and just know we greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Ebony.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Well, that has been.
Subscribe, like,
close
and
out,
donate to the Erudition Network. Hooray!
Because
Hold on,
we've
before
got
we
many
close
more
out-
things coming your way and much
before we close out,
many
let me say
more interesting videos.
before we close out, let me say, hey,
I know
subscribe
I am
to
very
Erudition
funny.
Network.
Me.
Subscribe to Erudition Network and Erudition Network's X, or as I prefer to call it, Twitter or Twitch, and follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
Well, not
And if you
Facebook
want to
and-
donate anything, we have the banner that runs throughout the whole show.
yes,
It helps us out so that we can do things like this and schedule
and also
different meetings with other people that you might like to see, such
Yes.
as Falanda, Jesse F. Falanda, see what the Man Up show. Many different things are coming,
and I actually do have somebody
especially
coming
when
on.
we get to StreamYard.
I do have somebody coming on next week, so be excited.
I'm not sure if she's here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta see about next week. Remember, that you never know. The unknown is always there, man.
Follow us on TikTok and
Okay, I'm gonna end y'all now.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Before we end, make sure to donate. It's not a choice if we don't make it one.
And of course,
Goodbye.